Imagine your greatest battle is not against the world without, it's against the voice within that keeps whispering, quit, quit, quit. As a matter of fact, it's not even a battle, it's the war. It's the war between the ease of comfort and your true potential. It's the war between comfort and your true potential. It's the war between fleeting ease and lasting legacy. This, my friend, is the fight that determines your destiny. Every legend, from athlete, entrepreneur, visionary, Renaissance woman and Renaissance man, to the man in Gethsemane, at one point had to face a key question. Either surrender to the pain of growth or remain trapped in mediocrity. Today, my friend, you are going to learn something key. You will learn how to break through any obstacle, any difficulty, anything standing in your way, regardless of exhaustion, discouragement, or even distractions. Dimitri here, let's get right into it. As I was saying, in this video you will learn how to forge the discipline to break through any barrier, any obstacle, regardless of the pain, regardless of the amount of distraction coming your way. And the first point is discipline. My friend, discipline, discipline, discipline. Here's the truth. Your talent will open doors for you. Your hard work will keep you going. Your talent will open doors for you. Your hard work will get you started. But there's only one key thing that will get you to the finish line. Do you want to know what it is? It's called discipline. Discipline is the bridge between your dream, between your vision and hardcore reality. Discipline is the bridge between what you see in your head and what you're going to eventually hold in your hands. The question is, how much discipline do you have? Or a better question is, how can you find a way to actually acquire it? And that's what we are here to actually discuss. And why is discipline so particularly important? A couple of reasons. There's a book written by an amazing author by the name of Angela Duckworth. It's called Grit. And in this book, she goes on to say that yes, self-discipline is precisely the one key thing that you cannot ignore, because it is more important than IQ. It is more important than your social connection. It is more important than your social intelligence. It is even more important than whatever amount of talent you're going to bring to the table. As a matter of fact, a great study by University of Pennsylvania simply said that yes, students will show up and demonstrate a high level of self-control, end up performing better academically, in terms of relationship, and also when it comes to achieving the long-term goals. So again, discipline is the bridge you can ignore, because that's the bridge that's going to take you from wherever you are all the way to a tangible world where everything you were seeing in your hand is going to become basically in your hand. And that's the currency of success. Number two, one key thing you have to also consider is the fact that yes, as you building and forging this culture of discipline, there's going to be a key battle between what I would call the will of the flesh and the will of the vision. The will of the flesh will simply tell you, it's too hard. Let's just take a break. Let's just surrender to all this distraction coming our way. Let's just take a break from all this hard work and find a way to enjoy this distraction that's actually coming our way. On the other end, the will of the vision will simply say, no, my friend, you have to keep going. You have to keep forging ahead. You have to keep pushing forward, no matter what could be happening to you in the moment. Here's the beautiful thing I shared with you a few days ago. When this iconic figure, Jesus, came to a point where he said, I have now to go deeper as far as my work is concerned. I have now to go deeper as far as my vision is concerned. What did he do? Amongst many things, he said, I'm going to master the art of solitude. I'm going to run away from all this crowd around me. I'm going to select only a few people that will be part of my inner circle, and we're going to get to a remote location because I need to go deeper as far as my sense of meditation is concerned. But guess what? As they retire in this remote area known as Gethsemane, guess what happened? It tells now the three people that he brought with him, please stay here. I'm going to go deeper. I'm going to go in the deeper end. You stay in the shallow ends. I'm going to go in the deeper ends because what I need now to face is too much for you to consider. So let me go alone. As he goes alone, here's what happens. He realizes that yes, in the flesh, there's only so much you can do without experiencing a sense of burnout. In the flesh, there's only so much you can do before the flesh now starts whispering to you, it's time for you to quit. It's time for you to quit. This is way too hard. As a matter of fact, who are you to believe that you can indeed make this thing happen? Make this thing happen. But guess what? This is precisely where the model comes from. Because at one point, this iconic figure simply looks himself in the mirror and says, not my will, because he was referring to the will of the flesh, but your will be done, referring now to the will of the vision, referring now to the greater and weightier will of the vision. And that's how slowly but surely he became now transformed, transfigured into someone completely different, to the point where the people that he brought with him, they turned around and looked at him and said, my goodness, what is happening? Because it was now in a place where they could see that he had ascended into a different reality than what they were actually used to as far as seeing him on a day-to-day basis is concerned. And that's the key thing. There's always going to be a battle between the will of the flesh and the higher will and more difficult will of the vision that you have put in front of you. And this is key. As a matter of fact, a perfect example I can also use when it comes to this contemporary world. At the beginning of his career, Michael Jordan realized that yes, he was not that good or not good enough because the varsity coach in high school simply says, Michael Jordan, you have to sit down because you are not good enough. And the ease of the moment could have simply said to him, my goodness, you are not good enough for this thing called basketball. How about you just go on to enjoy other things? Because as a matter of fact, you are very athletic. You can go on to try something else. You can try track and field. You can try baseball, which he actually did at one point professionally. You can go on to try different things. But why wasting your time when it comes to this thing called basketball? And that when you realize somehow that yes, it is true. Discipline is more important than talent. Discipline is more important than anything I can bring to the table. My IQ. Discipline is more important than my basketball IQ, my sports IQ, which may be lacking at the moment. Discipline is even more important than this thing called social intelligence. Discipline is precisely the bridge between what I see in my head and what I need to touch as far as my life is concerned. So I'm going to now to surrender to the pain of growth. I'm going to surrender to the pain of growth to the point where I need to see myself like this man, this iconic figure in Gethsemane. I need to see myself now sweating blood because I am willing to pay the high price as far as my vision is concerned. And that's exactly what he did. And before you know it, slowly but surely, it was becoming now this iconic figure that we know in the world of basketball. It goes on to graduate from high school and to get scholarship to go play for North Carolina. As he's playing over there, even the coach after a few seasons simply says, Michael Jordan, I've tried everything. I've tried to pair you with the worst players to actually play with my best players. You were still beating them. I tried to play you to pair you with the worst of the worst as far as my squad is concerned. And I tried to pitch you against the best of the best. But guess what? You still found a way to outperform everyone. At the end of the season, I want you to consider one key thing. You've become way too big for this place because your discipline has reached a place where you need now to take you the gospel of basketball to something else, to somewhere else, and that place is going to be NBA. And that's exactly why it is important to forge this thing called discipline. And guess what? Neuroscience shows that whenever you resist the temptation to quit and you keep pushing forward, what you do is you strengthen the neural pathway for this key thing known as resiliency. All right? So now the key question is, how do we develop now this key thing known as discipline? How do we now develop this currency of success, the bridge between where you are now and where you need to be? 4 key steps that you have to consider. I will simply break them down in the following manner. D.M.R.S. What does this stand for? Detail fatigue. Try to find a way on a daily basis to create a system around you where you know that, yes, I'm going to spend as little time as possible on things that are completely inconsequential so that I can remain active and available when the bigger questions, the bigger issues are going to come to me, so I have some kind of brain power I can actually use toward this thing. For example, President Barack Obama, when he was president, he said to himself, I can't be wasting my brain power on things that are completely inconsequential, for such as suits. I can't be paying too much attention when it comes to the color of the suits and so forth. Simply say no. And I'm going to actually prepare my week ahead of time. I know what I'm going to wear on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, so that when the day comes, all I have to do is wake up, take a shower, brush my teeth, and simply don my suit and go on about my business. And that's exactly how you remain available when it comes to the bigger issues of life. That's number one. Again, D for detail fatigue. Try to minimize that as much as possible. M for what? For micro commitment. Rome wasn't built in one day. You can right away start and basically start doing great things at the very beginning. No. What you have to do is simply say to yourself, for example, I want to start meditating on a daily basis. I want to be spending close to 20 minutes on a daily basis. But at first, of course, this will seem completely insurmountable, absolutely gigantic. So what you have to do, instead of focusing on 20 minutes, how about you start basically with a 2-minute meditation on a daily basis? And if this is too much for you, how about you just start with 20 seconds? Commit to doing 20 seconds every single day. And guess what? Before you know it, you're going to go from 20 seconds to 25 seconds, 30 seconds, and before you know it, you'll be actually doing 5 minutes of meditation without even actually breaking a sweat. Why? Because you'll simply become part of who you are on a daily basis. That's number 2. Number 3, P for what? Pain. Reframe pain as progress. At the Garden of Gethsemane, when Jesus found himself in a place where pain now became basically the bread he was eating, in the midst of his meditation, he could have quit and said to himself, this is too much. I'm actually suffering right now because I'm now sweating blood. But he saw pain as progress. He saw pain as the bridge between where he was and where it needed to be. So he kept pushing forward. And that's how slowly but surely he became this bigger version of himself and went on to basically become now this iconic figure in the books of history. Why? Because he simply found a way to reframe pain as progress. That's number 3. Last but not least, system. Think in terms of system as opposed to willpower. Your willpower can only carry you this far. But when you start to live in the place of system, what you're going to do is you're going to start seeing yourself doing things even without thinking. Why? Because you know that when I get up, this is the routines and ritual I have to have on a daily basis. I have to wake up, I have to take a shower, I have to brush my teeth, I have to drink my 400 milliliters of water right away, and I have to go on to eat breakfast and so on and so forth, because this is basically the routines and the ritual of actually establishing myself. And because I'm working based on system as opposed to how I'm feeling, what's happening is execution becomes easier for me. Momentum becomes actually easier to achieve because why? I'm actually working based on system as opposed to willpower to simply wait when the willpower is going to simply be replenished for me to actually keep going. That's very key. And here's the funny thing. As far as your life is concerned, as far as your business is concerned, as far as your profession is concerned, the one key thing you have to consider is the following. You can either live at the mercy of the flesh, the part of you that simply wants to quit every single day when things get too hard, the part of you that just wants to stop and enjoy the many distractions coming your way, or you can surrender to something more demanding, the will of your vision, the pain of growth, the pain of having sleepless nights, going without days, without many nights, without knowing exactly how and when you're going to find success. But here's the funny thing. When you surrender to the ladder, what's going to happen is you're going to start expanding and becoming the bigger version of yourself. And before you know it, you're going to now start accessing things that you thought completely impossible, completely unattainable, as far as that vision is concerned. And we're now going to start executing different strategies that the world had never seen before. And before you're going to start turning into someone completely different. The choice to choose between the will of the flesh or the demanding will of the vision is something that happens every single day. So this is now where you have to face your own demon, face yourself in the mirror and simply says, will I surrender to the will of my flesh, or will I surrender to the higher and more demanding will of my vision? And that's the key question, and that's your assignment in this season. And now the question is, which one are going to choose? And this choice doesn't just happen basically at the end of the day or at the end of the month. It happens every single day. You have to choose between yielding to the temptation of just quitting right now, or simply keep pushing forward until you see what lies basically beyond the frontier of what you thought possible as far as what you do is concerned. All right, I'm going to stop right here. Before I go, just 3 things. Just in the comment section, just write down the one key thing you're going to work on as far as your commitment to developing discipline is concerned. Number 2, subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell if you're looking for more deep work strategies that's going to help you go from where you are to the next level, and also if you're looking for transformation insight that we can share with you on a daily basis. And last but not least, share this video with someone who needs exactly what you heard today. All right, much love everyone. I'm out.